Hello, all you beautiful souls, and welcome to Sunshine for the Soul. Thank you for joining me on my YouTube channel today, and thank you for joining me for this reading. My playlist, Blue Ridge Tarot, I'm just starting to work on and upload some readings. My name is Cindy. Thank you so much for joining us today up in the Blue Ridge Mountains for a collective general read. Let's get started. Today I drew from the Light Seers Tarot deck, and for general energy I pulled the Four of Pentacles. The Four of Pentacles shows a feminine with her headdress on, with her earrings on. She's clutching a purse, or what we would consider a clutch, and it's got four pentacles on it, and she's holding that to her bosom as she closes her eyes. The city she came from was in the background. It seems to me that this feminine is holding on to her own truth, that despite she's outside the city, despite that she's seemingly alone and by herself, whatever she's holding on to, whether it be her truth, she doesn't want to let go of it. She doesn't want to let go of her personal truth. And if that makes her an outsider, well then so be it. She's walked away from the busy city. She's walked away from the norm, and she's okay standing by herself, standing in her own truth. And that's our general energy for today. Let's see what else we have. How many of us today feel like outsiders, that we don't quite fit in, that people don't quite understand us or know what we're going through, in a world of being separated by distance and technology and financial restraints? I think a lot of us feel isolated right now, and a lot of us have gone within, which this is the time to go within. So the next three cards I drew were the Tower in reverse, the Seven of Wands in reverse, and the Nine of Cups upright. The Tower upright is an event or a belief or a change in something around you or in you that changes everything. Nothing is the same after this aha moment or event or this revealing to you. So the Tower upside down is refusing to change, refusing to see things for what they really are, refusing to adapt our belief systems and stay stuck in places that no longer serve our greatest and highest good. So the Tower refusing to change. Let's clarify the Tower before moving forward. So to clarify the Tower, I'm using Ellen Dugan's Witch's Tarot. And let's see, the Tower in reverse, refusing to change. What can you tell us about the Tower in reverse? Change is difficult. A lot of people aren't comfortable with change. And what popped out is the Chariot in reverse. So the Tower in reverse is clarified by the Chariot in reverse. Now, a Chariot upright, only the Emperor and the Empress ride in the Chariot. Typically, it would mean travel, forward motion, going somewhere. But in the reverse, it means the opposite. It means that there's self-doubt, there's lack of control, a lack of direction. So the Tower, clarified by the Chariot in reverse, is refusing to change. A big reason why people do not change is the fear of the unknown, the fear of things being different, and automatically assuming that different means worse instead of better. So when you refuse to change and you refuse to adapt and you stay in this blocked energy, it makes you feel like a lack of control. And it stops the universe and the signs from you to be able to see the direction in which you're supposed to go. Change is a blockage. It's like refusing to change is damming up the river. You get so far and then poof, you're stuck. And in addition to that, it's you're unable to manifest. I mean, time and energy will have to be put into things, whereas things won't come easily or be in the flow. So the next card I pulled, I consider this first batch of cards probably to be just the present. So the Tower in reverse is a character refusing to change. The Chariot in reverse is they're sitting in self-doubt. They feel like they don't have control and they have a lack of direction. They're not moving forward. They're in stagnant energy. The next card, the Seven of Wands in reverse. Wands are about emotions. But in the reverse, if it was upright, the Seven of Wands is standing your ground and acting bravely and just being in the now. But when you flip that card, it's refusing to stand your ground and be brave. So refusing to change causes self-doubt, and that fear creeps in. And then instead of moving forward bravely and standing your ground and standing in your truth, then this refusing to change and this self-doubt really has you at a deficit because you're not acting brave. The next card is the Nine of Cups. And with the Tower in reverse, the Seven of Wands in reverse, the Nine of Cups says that this individual, this character that is refusing to change, refusing to stand their ground and be brave, what they don't understand and what they don't realize is that in that refusal to budge, that stubbornness, that refusal to move, that they're actually refusing to accept the gifts from the universe. The universe puts things within our grasp, but they're just not handed to us. We have to do the work. We have to make the changes. We have to go inside. So sadly, it seems to me like possibly if we were to look at that in the past, that this is an individual that is very uncomfortable right now. They're not standing in their personal truth, and the gifts that are trying to be handed to him are being refused. So that's kind of interesting. Refusing to change, refusing to stand their ground and be brave, and refusing to accept the gifts from the universe. I'm kind of curious and want to dig in a little bit about, let's clarify one card each on the Seven of Wands and the Nine of Cups. Oddly enough, nothing popped out. I went and shuffled the deck a couple times and pulled. So we're going to leave the Seven of Wands in the reverse exactly where it is refusing to stand their ground and be brave, and refusing to accept the gifts from the universe. Moving forward into the present, we have the Justice card. The Justice card is Libra energy. It's about balancing the scales. When we look at this card, she's looking down and she can see her reflection. We all need to find balance within ourselves first before we can find balance within our outside relationships. We must go from inner to outer. So we've got Libra energy here in the present, either a need to balance the scales. The next card out is the Nine of Wands. Again, we've got nines coming. Nines mean endings. The Nine of Wands, wands are emotions. So we've got a lot of wands and we've got a cup. So emotions. And this Nine of Wands in reverse is a character that is not able to push past their perceived limitations. So although maybe there's a desire to balance things and find balance within yourself, finding balance is letting go of fears and letting go of those self-sabotaging perceived limitations that we put about a situation or about how it's going to end or how it's going to come about. Expectations on anything can be a real blockage in energy. They have to be removed, and you have to surrender and release all outcomes for your greatest and highest good. So in the presence, we've got this Libra justice energy, wanting to find balance within themselves, wanting to balance the scales, but coming out of a time where they're just not able to push past their own perceived limitations. And with the Ace of Wands in reverse, this is causing them to feel uninspired. They may have creative blocks and they're needing to find inspiration. Again, going back, refusing to change, refusing to stand your ground and be brave about what your truths are in your life, and refusing to accept a gift that maybe is being handed to you. It's going to be very difficult to find balance. It's going to be very difficult to push past one's perceived limitations. It's going to be very difficult to manifest and to create because of that lack of inspiration. So I clarified the Justice card with the Eight of Swords in the reverse and the Ace of Pentacles in the reverse. So swords are about communication, truth, and with this Libra energy of needing to find balance within yourself, the Eight of Swords is being a victim, and it's using your past experiences as an excuse. So that goes back to that fear factor of not being able to move forward in your life, refusing to change, refusing to grow because of that fear of repeating a cycle, going back to that. All you remember in past relationships that were traumatizing to us is the trauma. We don't focus on the good times and the lesson that was learned. All we do is focus on whatever that feeling was of helplessness and hopelessness when it all fell apart. And the Eight of Swords is in order to find balance, we have to get past being in the victim mode. We have to get past using our old experience and our old stories as an excuse. The Ace of Pentacles is missing an opportunity. So if we don't find balance within ourselves, if we don't move out of that victim mode, then opportunities are definitely passing us by. Like up above, the Nine of Cups is refusing to accept gifts from the universe. Here's the universe saying, here, I have these gifts for you. I have these wonderful adventures for you in these places that I want to take you. But if you sit in fear and you sit in the past and you refuse to pull yourself out of that, then you are literally missing opportunities that the universe is trying to hand you. The Nine of Wands. Let's clarify the Nine of Wands. The Nine of Wands upright is the Wounded Warrior card. 9 is endings. So not able to push past one's perceived limitations. Clarify the Nine of Wands. She's holding a torch, holding a light. It's in reverse. The Three of Cups, so that's community, collaboration, communication. So the Nine of Wands in reverse, not able to push past one's perceived limitations in order to come towards a Three of Cups, to come towards communication, to come towards collaboration. So again, a blockage. This is a blockage, an energetic blockage to move forward. The Ace of Wands is because of this, you're just feeling uninspired, creative blocks. I know what that's like creatively, to just get off track and not be in the flow and not be interested in anything and just say, oh, well, that's never going to come about, or that's not going to work out. But part of manifesting is taking your intentions of what you'd like to manifest, what your desires are, and adding your attention to them. If you don't put your attention into something, you cannot manifest it. You cannot just say, oh, well, bring me what I want, universe, drop it in my lap, and I'm not willing to do any work to get it. This is a very interesting story of a character. And, in the beginning, we have a feminine character who's holding on to their truth. They're not wanting to let go of something, and because of that, they're isolated, and it makes them kind of an outsider. And then this refusing to change, this self-doubt, lack of control, refusing to stand your ground and be brave. When the universe is handing you something, it's saying, here it is, but you have to make these changes. You have to push past these little spiritual tests that the universe gives you in order to level up. And this Justice, let's just call them the Libra character now. It seems to me like they want to balance the scales. They want to find balance within themselves, but continuing to stay in the victim mode, continuing to take your emotions of those past experiences and put them onto whatever it is you're looking to manifest. And that is causing a blockage. It's causing missed opportunities to communicate and collaborate and feeling uninspired. It just takes the light out of you. When you're blocked, you just feel blah. Like nothing is kind of tantalizing or wetting your whistle. Maybe your daily routines seem mundane and repetitive. And I've gone through this. I've had blockages where I've stayed stuck in energy, and when I finally have come out of them, it makes me laugh because I didn't need to stay in it as long as I did. But the universe reveals things to you in small little bits of pieces of information. Maybe it's in conversations, maybe it's in a song, and if you pay attention to those things that are coming across your radar every day, it is the Creator divinely guiding you. You just have to look and be aware of those signs and maybe write them down and journal and listen to what they're trying to tell you. And with that, I'm going to move on to possibly this present. I threw down a 9-card spread and it just came out where it kind of looked like past, present, and future. But in this reading, the past looks a lot the same as the present, except for in the present, I think this character wants to find the balance, needing to balance the scales, maybe identifying where they're stuck is the kind of the first move to moving forward. And with that, the 8 of Wands, again, more wands, emotions. 8 of Wands is fast energy, incoming. Now is the time for swift movement. Those wands are the universe saying, get up, do something. Don't sit around. Don't sit in self-loathing and feel sorry for yourself and think that things can't be different. They're only different if you sit there and you allow them to be stagnant. You have to take steps outside of your comfort box. You have to do something different. The definition of insanity is doing the same thing over and over again and expecting a different result. I don't know about you guys, but I really don't want to live in a state of insanity. I've been there before. It's not a pleasant place to be. So this 8 of Wands is fast energy. Maybe emotions are boiling to the surface. The next card I pulled is number 18, the Moon in reverse. The Moon is the divine feminine in reference to the sun, which is the divine masculine. And the Moon in reverse is things that were once hidden under the surface are now being revealed. They're coming up. These emotions, blue is water. So this Moon card shows all this beautiful blue water. So these are emotions, and these emotions are arising. And as we ascend and we take in more light and we evolve and we expand as a spiritual being, our emotions need to be brought to the surface and need to be looked at for what they are. Emotions are clues to what we need to work on. They are our guiding light, and ignoring them and suppressing them and burying them deep under the water where we can't see them, where we don't want to address them, that is going to leave us very blocked and very unfulfilled and lead us not getting the gifts that the universe is trying to bless us with. The King of Cups in reverse is the next card. This is a king, maybe this Libra character, who in the past did not show their emotions. It doesn't mean that they didn't have them, but they weren't showing them. They kept them buried down below the surface. That's kind of a sign of emotional immaturity, which all of us have that. That's part of our growth process that we have to overcome, is instead of suppressing emotions that are painful, we have to bring them to the surface. We have to look at them. We have to address them. We have to process, heal from them, and we have to accept them for what they are. The next card is the 5 of Pentacles, and as I look at this card, it's a person sitting outside a door. They've got their hand between their legs, their head between their legs. Their head is down in defeat. They feel left out. But what they're not seeing is that The key to open the door is literally sitting right beside the door. They're not looking at it, but it doesn't mean that it's not there. The key to unlock the door and let yourself in from being out left in the cold, it's right there. It's right in front of us. And the universe, again, is giving us those steps, those little clues that come along in songs and a meme on Facebook, in a tarot reading. These little tiny clues are energetic indications of what we need to look at. It's letting us know where we stand and what path we need to take next. And this character, this first feminine character, she seems to be sitting outside of this energy. So I would say that this is a story about two characters. A feminine character who sits in her personal truth. It's made her an outsider. She's isolated. But then we have this other Libra character, this King of Cups in reverse, that for a period of time was refusing to change, that they had self-doubt, they had lack of control in their emotions, lack of direction, they weren't standing their ground, maybe up against others, and what they truly believe in and who they are. They weren't being brave, and they were refusing to accept the gifts from the universe. They want a balance. They want to bring balance within themselves. So I think what's happening here is that this Libra King of Cups energy possibly is learning to come out of the victim mode, to not use those past experiences as excuses, to push past their limitations, to be involved in their community, to collaborate with others, possibly communicate with others, feeling more comfortable within themselves. The time of feeling uninspired and those creative blocks will only be over when we find balance. Now this character has these emotions incoming. They feel like it's the time for swift movement. It's fast. It hits them hard with all these solar activities we've been having and all this light energy that's been coming in. We are very quickly ascending and expanding and learning things faster than we ever felt before. And I personally know that with the fluctuation in the KPI index that went all the way up to an 8 last week, that fluctuation causes your emotions to kind of fluctuate. But this King of Cups character, things are being revealed possibly for them, coming to the surface. Maybe they're having to deal with these emotions and finally address some of them that have been blockages. Maybe in the past they didn't show their emotions. Maybe they were emotionally immature and that caused loss and misunderstandings in past relationships. But the universe is saying that although you may feel like you're being rejected, that you're left out in the cold, if you just change your perception, if you turn your vision just in the slightest different direction, that you'll be able to see that the key of letting yourself in from the cold, your key to not feeling isolated from others, and your key to holding on to your personal truth, even within your circumstances, even within your friend group, that key is within you. It's finding yourself. It's finding your own truth and standing bravely in that truth, despite what anything anybody else thinks about you. And yes, isolation is difficult. And yes, you feel like an outcast. And yes, believing differently than the majority makes you kind of a misfit. But I don't think we have time to actually worry about those things. I think if we want to expand and we want to ascend, we need to move past those feelings of what other people think about us. The only thing we need to be concerned about is how we feel about ourselves and how our relationship is with our Creator. There is no going forward into the fifth dimension without having an intimate relationship with yourself and with your Creator. And that has to be mastered and worked on before we ever have the tools in place to have a healthy, intimate relationship with others, whether it's family, friends, lovers, We have to do the inner work first. We have to clear out the blockages. We have to become be on the path to becoming our best self, aligned with our greatest and highest good, and be in that energy of surrendering and releasing, knowing that the Creator is bringing all those gifts to us. He lays them out in front of us, and all we have to do is accept them. I hope you found this reading interesting today. If so, like and subscribe. That's how I know that you enjoy this content, and I'll continue to take these little tidbits of readings and share them with you. I hope you have a wonderful and beautiful, blessed day. We're sending peace and light, and I just want you to know that you are loved and you are cherished no matter where you are in the process. None of us are better than each other. We're all on a journey. We're all trying to find out who we truly are and embrace who we truly are and live our highest and greatest authentic selves and align us on that timeline so that these abundance and blessings come our way, and they're right around the corner. All we have to do is change our perspective and take that key and use that key that has been given to us. Have a great day.